Hello there. Hello, hello. Oh my god, Clonova. Why can't we just start normal for once? Come on now, come on. Show yourself. Yeah, that's good enough. Yeah. Sir Hugo! Melee has a great soundtrack. What's up, guys? Happy Tuesday. Hello to you and your family. Whoever's out there watching. Question of the day, do you bring a +1 to the zebra stream? Would you bring a +1 to the zebra stream if it said so on your invitation? Just trying some metrics here, just testing some metrics. Any +1s? You don't bring one? I didn't. Okay. Just testing the waters. Seeing if we need more chairs. That's right, I didn't play the whole song. Don't know if you have a +1 to bring? Nonsense. 57 hours. Brought Snowball? Okay. That's concerning, but... Plop, and for some reason that got... You can allow P star, whatever that is supposed to even be censoring. Laugh at you. Welcome, welcome. Hello, hello. If you recall, guys, last week we did nothing, if you recall correctly. That's not really true. We did do some stuff. We explored a whole route. And we spent the whole session. We explored the department store. We explored Lily Cove. We went to the department store, yeah. Oh, this is the department store. That's the museum. We explored most of Lily Cove. But for the most part, we just looked for secret bases. And man, if only I had done that 1 week later. Because tonight would have been the perfect night. But that's okay. If I tried to summon a pussy... We didn't know. They drop these things like the night of now. What's up, Rudge? What's up, Sizz, King of Pixel? Did I miss anyone else? Pyre, gentle Sire? That's brain rot. Okay, man. If I tried to call someone a pussy. Pyre, gentle Sire. What's up, Snack? What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? What's up? Let's steal this boat and sail off. Come sail away. I don't know what the deal... Shoutouts to, like, the thing that's here. You know, like in the actual game. I don't know what the heck this is. A jar? You know what I'm talking about? Shoutouts to, like, the thing that's here. Is that really supposed to be a lighthouse? Let me test this. Hey, Zebra, you're a pussy. What the heck? How come it's allowed? And P star isn't? That thing is supposed to be a lighthouse? I don't understand because they have a full-sized lighthouse in Slateport. So what were they even... What were they even... Hey, Zebra? Yeah? What the heck? Yeah! Yeah! Hell yeah. World's biggest pop-up. Hey, what's going on over here? What's going there? Walter, leap out of the water now. What do you want? You're messing up our training, so can you, like, get lost? Look at the sailboat. Okay. Oh, this is our encounter. Oh, this is our encounter. Wasn't really, like, aiming to get something here, but... We get the feeling you're mad. We won't stop you from insulting this streamer. Hey, look at us already. I used to think that thing on the platform was, a little pedestal with, like, a yellow ball on it. And I thought the yellow ball was nothing because you couldn't interact with it. But, like, it reminded me of... Is it the second Pokemon movie? The second movie has the birds, right? That's the Ho-Oh and Lugia one? Or just Lugia, sorry. What happens in that movie? I haven't seen that one in years. It's just Lugia and the three birds, right? I haven't seen that one in forever. But you know the little balls with like the energy of them that like they have to get or whatever? And Slowking is in it and that baddie is in it. That baddie with the ocarina. That's what I remember from that movie, baby. Ooh, maybe we'll watch it. I'd be down. Whalmer for Condor. Oh! Whalmer's nickname. What are we thinking? What about like Cocarina? What about like... Sis, you should save that for when you're mad at Ocarina of Time. Gropey, Shomer, I like Plop. Dang it. We're gonna do this. We know what it means. We did it again? Plop. Fuck, where is she? Because, guys, we don't care at this point. We're in Lily Cove. Do you want to see the Soul Matrix? I sure don't. I was looking at it before stream, and it's like looking in the mirror and seeing my failures. Look at the look. Black 2 is never... It's never gonna come close! Oh, why is it like this now? They added an extra click. Don't you hate when something adds an extra click? I also blame Seaglass for being stupid. It's been a while since we've seen Paprika, but I promise when we go back to Paprika, it's going to be a long time before we see Pesto again. This is like the long chapter for both of them. What did we name you? We named you P-L-O-P, Plop. And she's a what now? Naive. From Lily Cove City, baby. Plop. Alright, anyway, I just wanted to look at this little sailboat. Is it time for this? No, it's not, right? No, we gotta go to Mount Pyre first. Guys, we're doing Emerald content today. I know that's like a crazy thing to say out loud. We're doing Emerald content today, so forgive me if I get a little lost. I like don't know the order of operations here. I believe we go to Mount Pyre, and then we're gonna go to maybe Slateport? Need a co-pilot? I might. Plop. Why has you got the dud? Can you, like, move this? Or... No. No, you can't. Slit port, that's it. You got it, Rinslet. Alright, we're good to go. I'm good to go. Just got here? That's okay. You don't have to be here at the start. Except when you do. There are times where at the very beginning of stream, I will say, nobody else is getting a hello. I'm closing the door. But if you're not here at the start of the stream, you don't get to hear that. So nobody really has to know. Justovius is getting over-leveled, but whatever. Lost track of time. It's still bright out. What don't I get to hear? Uh-oh, Stinky. What's up, comp? Yeah, last week, or maybe the week, it was either last week or the week before. You were the main cast for the week, and anyone else who came after was reduced to like and status or like also starring. You know when they do that? They did that. So remember how I said last week I watched that Avatar movie? The credits of that movie were strange because they did the gang in order, right? So they went like they did Aang, and then they did Katara, and then they did that is true. That is where they put like the guest stars. They did like Aang, Katara, Sokka, Toph, and then I was like, huh? And then like they get to the end and they were like, they like go into like some of the side characters, and I was like, okay, but where's like the guy? And then at the end they were like, and Stephen Ewan as, and I was like, oh. Celebrity voice for him. But it was weird like moving them around like that. Hey, we gotta shup it. Like the Globetrotters or Batman. Was the bad guy? No. He was one of the main characters. I don't want to say who, I guess. I don't know. I'm sure it's known, but I know we have people going through the show. I don't want to make assumptions about what's known and not known. Oh, was he? I know him as Invincible. I know him for his VA work. Insomnia? Well, what the heck? I didn't buy any Pokeballs either. Alright, when do we start talking about Fire Emblem? Is it time? we got a lot to talk about. We're never buying nothing. Oh, it was weird. I could do a Silver Wind. That won't kill him. Shouldn't. Oh, just barely though. You guys got a name for Shuppet? Weird day. Mount Pyre's cool. You got the Gen 3 Ghosts. You got what, Vulpix is out there. Chimecho, if you're a freak and know about that. Pokemon roams about deep in the night, seeking such negative emotions as grudges and envy. It retreats to its nest when the sun begins to rise. Shuppet Twitch. Shove it, witch. Shup up and bayonet with me. Shup up, bayonet with me. What about... What about, like, a doorstop? Okay. Condimella. When Shepherd's on the door, you don't go in. Ugh. Using your shuppet like that? That's gotta be some kind of abuse. Or maybe she's just like the best wingman ever. Poindexter. Condimella. I kinda like that one. But pronounced like Condimella. Like you kind of lose the Condimella. Yeah. This is good. Good work. What does she do? She's gentle. Oh, she's kind of cute. Shepherd's got big old eyes. Sis Nummo. Yeah. Hey, how was everybody's Tuesday? How was your Tuesday? Mine was pretty good. My Tuesday was pretty good. My Tuesday was alright. I had a pretty good Tuesday. I was a little lazy. Lazy's not the right word. I was a bit distracted. Today. I do this thing whenever there's a little bit of a like a direct or any kind of presentation for a game I care about, for me to think about, I can't concentrate for the rest of the day. I do too much like looking at like Reddit or reading articles or whatever just to see like, oh, what did I miss? What did I see? What was in there? Blah, blah, blah. I get no work done except the work that needs to get done. And if there's not a lot of work that needs to get done on that day, not a lot of work gets done. A lot of the stuff that doesn't have to get done gets done between the hours of 4 and 5 p.m. on those days. Oh. Bard Ditto. Yeah. Oh, Ghost Normal. What do we think about that? Is that weird? I think that's weird, but I like it. Uh-oh, what did Sis stumble upon? Another bard? Oh! Bard Boop! I thought it was gonna be Bard Red or something when I saw her. I was like, no way. What is that in her hand? Where does she come up with these? I say it. Has she been playing recently or something? Oh, I guess for the new... Has she been playing for the update? Alright, we are here in Mount Pyre. Cool area, ghosts afoot. Spectral beasts afoot. There are ghosts and ghouls. I'm just gonna do this. I hate seeing the EXP bar so close. Just do it. Oh. What were the gang saying? Metroid Fusion, mine was fine. Finished Paper Mario, hell yeah. Pixel was also distracted. Yep. Yeah, I spent the whole day refreshing. Here's the problem, right? I spent a lot of time refreshing Reddit today, specifically refreshing because the mobile version of Reddit is unusable at this point. Oh my god! This be the final resting place of me Zigzagoon. I cherished it so. Alternate Tsubasa yell? Oh my god. Well, Tsubasa's not, like, yelling. She's just making a Kirby sound. They're also, they're both Bard, right? They're both Bard emotes. What is this one even called if not Bard Yell? Bard Loud. Why would she need both? She's crazy. All sorts of beings wander the slopes of Mount Pyre. Take this. Cleanse tag? Ooh. Thanks, Granny. Question of the day, when you come to Mount Pyre, what do you do first? You do the interior or do you do the plot exterior? I think I'm going to do the interior so that I can start talking about a little thing that happened today, about a little guy the little thing that they did today, about a little show I watched today, about a little thing, about a little Prezi. It was the Fire Emblem Fortunes Weave Nintendo Direct. It was a 22-minute presentation. Chills, thrills, spills. There's a lot to unpack. Oh man, I wanted the double. I'm very excited for the game now. I love a direct that gives me like my second wind. What? No, we got it. Just Jostovius is at the front. I love getting like a direct that gives me like a second wind of excitement, and this was definitely one. Oh yeah, we just chose Sponsa to be our follower. I thought it was a really good direct. It gave me everything that I would have wanted out of it, really. I don't need to see anything else. Also, what's up in you? Not that I needed to see anything else anyway, but like now it feels like we like know the game, kind of. You know what I mean? Like it feels like we know what the product that we're getting to the degree that you would want to. But what did they actually show? Well, we learned more about the character, like the main four, which I have to say, I mean, I'm definitely going. Well, we'll get into that, I guess. I was definitely leaning Lita, with like a Dietrich number 2. But it definitely helped Theodora and Kai for me more to know a little more about them. To the point where I think I like all 4 to some degree now. Yo, Anu, thank you so much. 18? Hell yeah. But that might not even matter necessarily. Your choices might not even matter. But I'll get to that. Point is, I think it did a good job to sort of give a quick recap on what their deal is, who their squad is, what their stories are about. Even though we already kinda knew, but maybe I just wasn't paying close enough attention to the ones I wrote off. But Kai's whole deal is that his story is, he's out to save his dad, who has been locked up for crimes. They did not necessarily say that crimes he didn't commit, which I think is interesting. Simply because the other three characters all seem to have kind of like a dark sort of twist to them. And I'm like, what if Kai's is that like his dad like did it or whatever it is? Like, I think they were very deliberate in their wording by not saying like the usual crimes he didn't do. They just said he was locked up for crimes, and it's like, okay, that's a weird way to word it. This Haunch Crow is a little spooky. Maybe Hope to Roomfeet can outspeed? It's our only hope. But I think that's like, that could be interesting. It seems like him and his little friends join the tournament like knowing that they're like knowing that they're just little children that are outclassed, but they're doing it for dad. And maybe, I don't know if we've explained how Kai gets his powers yet, or if it's just magic. But I'm wondering if he like strikes like a dark bargain or something. Like, I'm wondering if he like strikes a dark bargain to save his father. Oh, rah. I fully expect that to be the case. I think his dad did whatever it is. Especially because, like, I'm gonna skip ahead to Lita. Lita's whole story is that she's, like, out to avenge her father, who was murdered. I'm almost, like, I'm, like, 90% certain that her dad had it coming, whatever it is. I'm 90% expecting that her dad probably like deserved it, or like, you know, had it coming. Because they've shown the guy who she seems to be after, and he's clearly like a hero. He seems to be like scary looking, but like kind or like cool or peaceful. Yeah, Mr. Lita borrowed money one time too many. I don't have to worry about anything on this team except for Justovius, right? Pretty sure. We can kind of turn our brain off today, hopefully. I'm pretty sure, like, yeah. It's just like learning moves and stuff for these guys. I do have to worry about how hard it is to navigate this place, though. Any escape ropes? Oh, what? Dad? Alright, it'll take a while to get through here. They talked about Dietrich, who is... I guess, like, he's literally just on a quest to fight, which I think is raw. He gets his ship gets attacked by a sea monster, and he's like, fuck it, we ball. Like, there's a tournament around here? Alright. I think that's fun. He just seems like a guy who's out for bloodlust. And he's not from Dagda, which I think... Well, no. I don't think Theodora is... Theodora's from, like, the south or something. He's not from the country. Which I think is interesting. Like, he's like a foreigner to the land. And he's just there to fight. Yeah, he just starts recruiting people. He recruits Woohoo Miku as Esmeralda. And I think his other guy is maybe with him. I don't know. He seemed to have like a crew. Yeah, he's like the Fodlan guy. But he's raw. I think he's cool. And then they showed Theodora, who seems to be on like a holy crusade. And she worships the god of death and night. And I'm like, oh, okay. I think she was painted in a much like cooler light for me. As of this, I didn't really like get her deal before. But she seems interesting too. A static, you say? But point being, I think the gang is all pretty cool. I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing what they're all sort of about. Lita, I already kind of said, she's, you know, out to get her Primrose revenge. Her arm is prosthetic. I didn't even notice that. That is cool. Lita's out for a Primrose Octopath revenge story. I love this Duskull sprite. But she seems to have like a... She seems to kind of like snap whenever her dad comes up. And that also to me like makes me think like there's more to it. I think her dad was a villain. I think he paid what he owed, maybe. This is a cool find, Mischievous. Yeah. But she's still cool, and she's still my number one. But then they went over... I mean, we know the story is about... 3 out of 4 dads. We know the story is about... You know, the games. What is it? The heroic games? That's a really boring name, but that's okay. Oh, Luke, we're here on a dare. If I show my Miwo girlfriend how cool I am, she'll fall for me. I know it. I know, I'll cream you and show her how cool I am. I wonder what her dialogue is, since she's inaccessible. You think she's coded to have dialogue? The cat! Dez and Luke. Dez like what, like Desiree? So we know it's about the games. But we kind of saw more of it today, like what it's kind of like. And it seems like, I don't know if it's going to follow like a chapter structure necessarily. But it seems like, you know, like the big plot events are, you kind of end up matched up against, you know, someone on one of the other teams whenever you go do one of like the plot fights. Which, I mean, like is expected. That's how I would have figured it worked. But jumping ahead a little, I know I said I would go in order. It's already falling apart. Jumping ahead a little, they were going over what you can do in free time. And I noticed one of the things you could do was spectate. And I saw that and I was like, okay, but like, does that, like, who really cares? Like, what do you mean spectate? Like, what do I get out of this? Cause like, you know, what if someone's just using a guide? Why would I need to waste time when I can just look up who I'm gonna be fighting or something? And then I was thinking about it and I was like, well, what if, I don't know if we like know this, but what if there's like an RNG element to it? Like, what if you don't know who you're gonna be fighting? And that feature like tells you, like, what if it's not super scripted? I think that could be kind of cool. So for example, like maybe you will like guaranteed. Oh, Candleson. You know, maybe chapter 2 or whatever, you're fighting Dietrich no matter what, but maybe you don't know what units you'll have. Maybe that's what spectate gets you. I don't know. Oh, this sprite is sick. Oh, rah! Hyper voice, is he allowed that? He's allowed it over either of these. But I don't think I want it over... I mean, it is his signature move. I want the pure, normal Candleson. Body Slam is just too good of a move. You know? I'm gonna stick with Body Slam. What's his deal? He is jolly, so he has to hold a beverage, so he has no held item. And he has to take low accuracy moves. And he can't forget a low accuracy move for a higher accuracy move. You can only match or go lower. So I'm not gonna. I know it's fun to do signature moves, but we're lovey-dovey, so we don't care if we lose. Oh, an Ultra Ball. But that was just what I was like thinking, because like, oh god, it's a Kurt. Ouch, ouch. There are holes in the ground here and there. I didn't notice and took a tumble from the floor above. Yeah, but there has to be some meaning to the spectate feature, because otherwise I don't... No! Our darling Skitty! Is this dialogue in the game? I don't remember it being so blunt. It could be for the arena, too. But I think it could be really fun to have, like, a semi-random element. Because we know there are going to be characters that are, like, you know, locked to a specific lord. But there are a lot of other characters that seem like they're just, like, not route-specific. And what if they could just, like, be on the other team randomly in like, a given chapter? That's what I was thinking anyway. Oh, Justovius is stuck. Might as well power up. Nothing you can do about it. Hooah! Ruh. But that was my 2 cents about the face-offs. When they were showing the face-offs, do you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of Sonic Heroes. This Mime Jr. looks weird. Free trial character? Hell yeah. What's their name? Bah! It reminded me of like the team Brudge McSwudge. She. It reminded me of like those team battles. I think just because it was a standoff of a 3v3 and you have 4 teams in the game. I think that was the only like reason. that's where the synapses fired. Oh, the substitute is, what the heck? Why is it modern graphics? What's up with that? But that could be cool. Obviously, that's where our players are gonna kind of meet in the ring. And I think those are gonna be like your story battles, I think. I think everything else probably takes place outside the arena. And those are like your chapter bosses, maybe. However it works. There's definitely like a free time element that I'm curious to see in practice. Because it looked a lot more promising today than I thought it would be. Yeah, they legit have free time. But yeah, they introduced the characters again. They showed the battles. There was a really funny line during the battles where I think it was Lita versus Kai. And Lita dropped the worst line of dialogue I think I've ever heard. Where she said, I wrote it down, failure is not an option for me either. But that's only because I don't have any other choice. And I heard that. I was in a meeting at work, like attention divided, and I still heard it and was like, what is she talking about? That is the clunkiest dialogue I've ever heard. Winning or failure is not an option. I don't have any other choice. That's like, yeah, dude. What are you talking about? I just thought that was funny, so I wrote that down. And I saw other people mentioning it. It's a totally different line in Japanese that isn't clunky and weird like that, so I don't get it. Gooby, the answer's no. I love you, but no rain dance. A cookie isn't a pretzel, because a pretzel isn't a cookie. Let's get Candleson in there. Also, Lita is after someone called the White-Maned Demon. Ruby does love to dance, but he dances on the overworld. He doesn't need a move for that, you know? Also, what's up, Nitram? She's after someone called the White-Maned Demon, who I feel like it's like... They say it at the beginning, like when they're showing like her little highlights, and I'm like, oh, like a secret for us to solve. Will we meet the White-Maned Demon? And then later on, Dietrich says, oh, it's the White-Maned Demon, and we see the White-Maned Demon. So I was like, oh, okay. I guess it's not a secret. And the White-Maned Demon, I believe it's Bertrand. Do I have the right guy? We definitely got his profile. He seems raw. He's cool. They posted his portrait on the Japanese site. And his character blurb pretty much says, like, despite his, like, rugged appearance, he harbors an intense love for life and peace in his soul or something. And I'm like, okay, so Lita's dad had it coming. Like, they couldn't be laying it on any more thick. Like, this guy's probably a good guy. But I don't know. He's cool, though. That was, like, one of the... Was that the first of many, like, new characters? I don't think they showed... I think that was the first new character they showed. Unless, do you count Solel? Had they shown that guy? I don't know if they had. That guy's the, like, the divine dragon or whatever. He's like the holy man or whatever. He's like the king. He was at the very beginning, yeah. Okay, like, we got his introduction today. He's like the master of the game. Seemingly. The you know, the show host. The MC. Then they... Oh man, I wrote down some names, but I didn't write down who... He's the king? Pretty much. It seems that way. He seems to be like the emperor or whatever of wherever... Of Dagsian. The capital city of Dagda. Okay, I'll give you my number, lady. Gabrielle. Yes, I saw that as well, because white hair in the world of Three Houses, at least, means that you have been experimented on. So that could totally be the case with him, and that might be why he's like a beast in battle. Because you have Edelgard and Lysithea, which we still don't know for certain. We still don't know for certain if this is a prequel or a sequel, which I think is cool, personally. I'm glad that we are still not, like, we don't know. There are hints for and against both, but there's nothing definitive. Simply because there are no dates given. There are dates given, but it could easily be explained by being a different country with a different calendar. there is flavor text in like a data book or something that specifically states that Fodlan has its own calendar. Which I think might be deliberate. I don't think you can necessarily trust it 100%. A mere child like you. Yo. Defeated by a mere child? Because yes, the Three Houses takes place in... I didn't know this, but it takes place in like the 1100s or something. And this game very explicitly takes place in the 1400s. But we don't know if they're going off the same calendar. They could be, in which case it's definitely a sequel, but we don't know for sure. You might also think that like Sothis being aged up means that it's, you know, later. But we have lore that states that she actually used to look like that before she was like killed or something. Whatever happens to her in the past. So it's not that it's not necessarily that she has aged. But I think they could go either way, and I think they're very deliberately keeping it a secret. But there's a fun little game going on of, is it their ancestor or their descendant? We definitely have like a Marianne relative. Today we got definitely like, I mean, probably like a Shamir relative. Although Shamir is from Dagda. So it could just also be like, oh, this is like, you know, someone from Dagda. But I think it's probably, you know, Shamir's ancestor or descendant. And there's also Pepe the Petra. Look at this little tough. What's up, Unstoppable? That's also a thing. Rhea, very much a manipulator of the facts. I think there is, you know, there's stuff there to obscure where we are in the timeline. Even with like what we have that seems concrete, I think it's still not to be trusted. Which I think is cool. There are also like some political or like religious things that like wouldn't make sense in a sequel. I think like just the way they have like the gods just parading around, and I'm pretty sure that conflicts with what we know from the Fodlan games. There's just a lot. There's some cool stuff. Lita's theme has a bit of abyss. Lita is so abyss coded. I think she's supposed to be like a soft, like the Wolves team. I'm not like necessarily claiming that her team are like related to all the Wolves or anything. But I think design-wise, they are meant to kind of evoke a sort of similar dynamic. Tharja? I don't think Tharja will be in this one, but hey. Nemesis's origin? It could be. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if he, like, appeared. I was even saying, seeing some people say that Bertrand, like, almost reminds them of him. But I truly have no idea if it is a sequel or a prequel. I'm confusing myself just talking about it. I don't even know what camp I'm in. I'm just along for the ride. I wrote down some character names here. I forgot to write descriptions for these two, but there were 2 new characters on one of the early character selects. There was Guzran, and there was Sophia. I think Guzran was like a big muscle guy. And I forget what Sophia was. Guzran's egg. Sophia might have been a little green girl. Was there a green girl? There were like a bunch of green girls. Yes, Sophia was like a lightest green girl, and then there was a green flower girl. And we didn't get the flower girl's name, I don't think. But I looked at her and I was like, I bet Pixel will like this character. She looked bemused. Oh, look at Sponsa. Trembling with fear. I don't think we got a name for her. She might be a bit of a Linhardt. Pass her off to Beck. And then I wrote... my next note was, this is how you play Fire Emblem? Because they went... I mean, it's fine, but they had a very much like... This is the gameplay of Fire Emblem section. Which did still reveal a couple new things. It looked like in... I noticed that Kai had Dietrich on his team at one point, and I was like, oh, interesting. I wonder if, like, there are team-ups or something throughout the story, or, like, tag battles or something. Spirit Break? What the fuck is that? Spirit Break? I'm gonna screech. Enemy face slap. The movement is shown in blue. The Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave game is enemy face slap. Oh, that is the Grimmsnarl move, you're right. Okay, Candleson, I'm sorry. I should have been wiser, but I don't know. We lowered his defense, right? Did that connect? I'm gonna have Gooby wrap this up. They did say... They basically had a slide that was, it said, like, enemy phase slap. A third phase that was important. Player phase, enemy phase, important phase. We can get a rollout going. Casual bystander. During the kind of this is the Fire Emblem section, we saw Pepe, who I just mentioned, is definitely like a Petra, or related to Petra. LARPer phase. And we also saw one of my standout characters, and definitely, I think, also taking a lot of the internet by storm. Anatolia, the nun with the gun. They were going over weapon types, and they were like, yeah, there's a gauntlet that looks a lot like a firearm. And I was like, no, dude, that's just a gun. She just has a piece. I think she looks really cool, and she has some cool, like, magic going on, and she has a gun. She's one of the standouts for me. Uh-oh, Sponse. She can share? Yeah, they said she comes from the west, which is interesting, because, like, of the world map that we've seen, Dagda is as west as we've gone, I'm pretty sure. But this game seems to be implying, like, you know, that's not... The world is gigantic. The world is bigger. Which I think we, like, knew, but it's cool that they're, like, expanding it. So she was cool. Yeah, I think she also might be plot relevant. They showed her later on in, like, one of the cutscenes. And she did a cool, like, ice spell. Or, like, crystals or something. That reminded me... I know, it's just because I'm in a big Avatar mood. It reminded me of, like, earthbending. She made a bunch of, like, ice crystals come out of the ground. It looked cool, though. Yeah, I knew we had seen her. Because I knew we knew there were guns. Or we thought there were guns. I don't know if we knew, but there was like a theory that there were guns. We got our confirmation. They addressed the gun in the room today. They were finally like announcing gun. But that's fun. Magic gun, raw. I'm here for it. I definitely thought the first appearance of a gun in Fire Emblem would be like, I don't know, like a flintlock, but magic gun, I'm here for that too. I always envisioned it would be like a flintlock, like there'd be like a pirate class or something. Or like even just like your standard gunner, like a Final Fantasy type gunner or something. But now here we are. Bride with a shotgun. It's not a shotgun, but you know. They also showed Diego, who I think is one of the coolest looking characters. He's another standout for me. He has like a cool like face tattoo. They showed him the other night on with the Dietrich squad. But he's another one that I'm like, yo, he looks sick. He had something called a Damina sword. And all I could think of was, in my bed in the dark. Damina. In my bed in the dark, playing Damina da Hollower. But that was cool. They showed combat arts. They had animations. I mean, like, I'm not gonna say that they had animations in Three Houses. They kind of did, but they didn't really. Now they seem to have animations. Some of which I think are from Engage, which I don't mind. Like, I'm not trying to claim like, ooh, reused animations, but I think they are from Engage. Which is fine, because that game had really good animations. That was one of the best things about it. Everything wasn't like lifeless and static. So good page out of that book. Yeah, I think it looks great. I mean, it's about where I'd want it to be. That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, if you have something that's good, just use it. But I did see like a side-by-side comparison of like the axe combat art, and it was like straight out of Engage. It was like frame for frame. But it was cool to see like the combat arts getting animations. I hope there are more interesting ones. There were definitely, you know, some good ones in Three Houses, but I felt like I was using all the same like 2 or 3. I think a little variety would be cool. I mean, I don't have any ideas, but I don't know. They're the devs. I'm not using Deadeye. I was actually a Deadeye fiend. I used it all the time. So I'll be using it. Dare the devs. That's what I'm saying. All I'm saying is, a little variety would be cool. On the combat arts, I think it's a cool mechanic. I'm sure, I mean, do we have confirmation that characters have, like unique abilities? I forget what they're called. But, you know, like a character ability. I'm assuming yes, but I don't know if we have that confirmed. Not crests, but what's an example? Why can't I think of any? What's like... I'm gonna look up my girl, okay? Like Constance gets like a stat boost or something in the sun. Personal skills, maybe? PRF? What's PRF? Yeah, I think that's Lone Wolf Felix. Yeah, I think that's what I'm talking about. Whatever those skills are called. Do we know those are in this? I imagine they are. It would be a weird thing to drop. Now I have to look. Constance has circadian beat. Which grants the user increased strength and magic when deployed on an indoor map, or increased defense and resistance when deployed on a sunny outdoor map. Personal skills. I have to imagine they're in, but I don't know if we've seen them yet. And they gotta be running out of ideas for those. I do not envy whoever has to design those. There's like 70 characters in this. Why do we have Condamella with us still? Max Potion. This is where you would find a sponsor. This is where you would find a sponsor if you were looking. Oh, but sponsor's already with me. Dang it. What the heck? What the? Oh. Oh. Get away from me. I guess you gotta put them somewhere. This is a pretty good spot to put them. I personally, I would put them in the sealed chamber. Does that make it a dead language? It's really funny, like unknown is implied to be like another language from like the hieroglyphs. And I'm like, dude, you don't need to be an expert to read that. Hey, what's up, Neff? Yeah, we got Hotarumfi. Hotarumfi, who, like, I don't think has been on the team in a while. So you did show up at the right time. What was next, though? So they showed the combat arts, right? There were definitely some cool animations. We saw Ursula. Layout update. Oh, good call. We saw Ursula, who is the Marianne relative. And I didn't go back to listen, but I did see people saying that she also says my blood compels me. Is that true? I think that's cool. We are Ursula's new groove. I think, I don't know if that's true or not, but I definitely saw people claiming that she has the same crit quote as Marianne, but perhaps in a different, more confident context. She was a rogue. I don't know if there are, like... I'm still not totally clear on the class system. I'll get to that in a minute. Yeah, we did our time in the mines. That took like half the playthrough. I wrote down that Kai has... I love Kai's animations. He does like shonen poses. But then after... Something compels me? I see. Second or third rare? That sucks, I'm sorry. I didn't really get to use her either. I think we did get to use her by endgame. The sort of advantage of, the advantage of having streamed Xenoblade 2 is that I could just, like... You know, I could do those Merc missions, like, between streams. So we did have Ursula by endgame. She was one of Nia's endgame guys. So after the combat arts, they showed something cool called Blaze Arts. Now, combat arts have been around. They use weapon durability. But the blaze arts seem to be like character unique, like attack moves that consume health to use. So they're like almost like desperation attacks, I guess. And they showed them all off. Kai had the Biden blast. Dietrich had sneaking around. Theodora had the boulder. And Lita had like a happy bard move. It did seem like it was only them that had it, but maybe not. Kai's move is like a big fire blast that like leaves fire on the ground. It reminds me of like the Blaze battalion skill, but at a range. That one seems really good. That one maybe seemed like the best one. I assume it does magic damage. Dietrich's move seemed like a warp, essentially. Like a warp attack. That also seemed pretty good. I'm gonna skip Theodora and go to Lita. Lita had like a bard move. Like she can either buff the team, or it seems like she can summon monsters. So like definitely like happy. Like locked in, easy. And then going back to Theodora, I didn't understand her move. Or rather, like, it looked like she just throws a rock, and I was like, this just seems like a worse version of what Kai has. What's the catch? It seemed like a single target ranged move. And I was like, okay. But like, this doesn't seem that good compared to the others. Lita kind of seems like that, but the summoning monsters part seems pretty cool. Call us posers? You can do that. That's fine. There must be a catch to Theodora's. It probably scales physical, but there must be something else going on. Maybe it like lowers stats or something if it like doesn't kill. I don't know. It just seemed like less good. Oh, that's what you mean by geomancy. I see. Yeah, that could be cool. I would like that. That would be interesting. And then they said, and they were like, did you make a mistake? You can turn back time. The way the narrator said it, I was like, he goes, you can turn back time. And I was like, oh. And in this game, it's called Fortuna's Blessing. But it's the same mechanic we all know and love from modern Fire Emblem, where you can just kind of turn back the clock instead of having to reset the game. Except, and I feel like they've balanced it really well in the last couple of entries. But it does seem like they added like a currency to it. Perhaps in an attempt to make it a little less of a crutch, which is interesting. I guess more to be seen on that. Oh, naff. Yeah, that's true. There is probably like a status associated with it. There's something. There's got to be something. But yeah, there's some kind of like cost associated with the turn back the clock. I'm hoping it's not something that makes it stronger. Like, if you grind the currency, can you just use it until you run out of the currency? Because that would make it better. You know, at the cost of a grind, I guess, but I don't know. I guess we'll see what that really does. But I thought that was an interesting kind of takeaway from that. Otherwise, it seems like the same as we're used to. Turn back to whatever turn you wanna. I wrote... This is just me, I think, thinking. This was just stream of consciousness. I wrote, classes are customizable seemingly. Still not clear to me if anyone can be anything. but there seems to be a ton of variety. I don't know, what takeaway did you have? To me, it looks like everybody has a starting class. And as a result of that, they're more likely to go down a specific path. But I don't know if it's totally open still. Like, if you want to, you can put in the work and end up on any class, or is it just that there are a lot of options? I don't know if it might be more, I mean, like, Engage kind of has that, right? I didn't play around a lot with the job system in that. You can allow that one. Right. Take it to be that instead of it being like you can use it X times. That's what I'm thinking, Naf, but that has potential to be more... That has potential to be more easy mode, kind of. But I guess you'd have to put the work in. You'd have to put the grind in. So maybe you would earn easy mode. But yeah, I mean, we saw the certification exam screen for Dietrich, and it looked like he had a billion options, so I do think it's probably still, like, wide open. But because you start as a specific class, it's probably going to be harder to get certain characters into certain classes. Yeah, it could be something like that, too. Or maybe the amount of turns you're rewinding has a different cost. Oh, that's what it... That is what Nap was saying also. I was misunderstanding. Yeah, that... So, like, the further back you're going, the more expensive it is. That makes sense. I wrote down, this was a knee-jerk reaction. I think this was actually a guy, but I'm not positive. They showed someone named Nezha. And my knee-jerk reaction, simply because we were talking about it last night, I wrote down Nezha Kyoshika. I think it was a guy, though, upon further inspection. I just thought it was funny, because we were like, what if she was in Fire Emblem last night? Or was that last night? And then they showed someone named Dante, who was a red-haired baddie. Those two looked pretty cool. I liked a lot of the characters they showed today, to be honest. And then this character's name was cut off, but there was a green-haired side pony ostrich knight. She looked cool too. I could not make out her name. It was like cut off by the UI. We have some plot here. Green hair is important, but it wasn't the important shade of green, Sis. It was a dark green.
Yar, Team Pisto, me boy. Team Magma's Maxi got ahead of us, but we also got what we wanted. The red orb preserved at Mount Pyre. I, Archie, now have it in my possession. Now we can bring our ultimate objection to fruition. Okay, team, we're pulling out.
Oh no, this cannot happen. Not only the blue orb, but even the red orb has been taken. They must never be separated. They belong together. What are those men trying to do with the two orbs? Oh yes, was it Team Magma who came and took the blue orb first? Well, in their haste, they left this behind. I couldn't imagine what exactly it could be. What is it? Oh, it looks like a fridge magnet. Mount Pyre is where the calm spirits of Pokémon pass on. This is a high place where one can see all of Hoenn. And perhaps beyond. Is it a coincidence that you're here? Where the spirits and souls of the deceased can be felt? Will you hear out my tale? Yeah, alright.
It happened long, long ago. The world was racked by a ferocious clash between the Pokémon of the land and the Pokémon of the sea. The Pokémon of the land raised mountains and created continents. The Pokémon of the sea raised huge waves and carved out oceans. The Dagdan Empire, in the year 1494, their fierce duel raged without end. Control one of 4 mighty heroes in the heroic games, and choose your fate as you save the future. Light poured from the 2 orbs and becalmed the enraged adversaries. The pair, made docile, dove deep into the sea, where eventually they disappeared. Wow. Like the Pale Raven? Like the bird or the guy? We'll get to that though. Oh, speaking of the Pale Raven, it's the Dark Crow. Hiya!
Where were we? Oh, and then they showed a big heavy armor guy. They were going over the classes here. Nezha Kyoshika was like a... what was it, a Shido? Dante was some kind of mage, I think. And then there was an Ostrich Knight. And then they were going over some advanced classes. There was like a heavy armor. And that guy's name was Goliath. He looked raw. He's just a big guy. Just a massive guy. Goliath. You ever heard of him? Guy reading the Bible for the first time. There was this huge guy. His name was Goliath. There was Alexander the Pegasus Knight Zebra She, as deemed by Will and correct, but I don't like being so seen. She seems wonderful. I was happy she was a Pegasus Knight. We also got a clip of her later, and she seems to be a big eater, which could be funny. She seems like a bundle of joy, though. There was also Bendit's... I wrote Bendit's Richard Epcar Charioteer Zange Eraser. Thoughts? He had one voice clip that I was like, was that Richard Epcar? And I didn't bother to go back and replay it. I just, like, believed in my mind. He was some eye patch guy on a chariot. That class looks cool also. Oh, something that I noticed. I think that unit takes up 2 spaces. And I know for a fact one of the units they showed later took up 4. And is that the first time they've done that? Have they ever done a unit that takes multiple spaces? I'm like surprised it took so long to come up with that idea. Because, it's not the first time? Okay. Because, they showed Elephant Rider Anna, who takes up 4 spaces, and all I could think of was Tsubasa. And how unwieldy she can be sometimes. That big car. I thought of Anna going, I'm taking the Tusk. Enemy units. Yeah, I know the big monsters have definitely taken multiple squares. I just didn't know if, like, playable did. I'm taking the reins. But yeah, there are big units now. There's Elephant Rider, which I think is cracked. I think that is an awesome new class. They also showed Ultand, who we know, but they showed her class, and I forget the name of it. It's on like the tip of my tongue, but it reminded me of the class in Fates. The class that Oboro is, with the spear. I'm taking the wheel. When she takes it back from Yukari. Remember how Yukari stole the Wheel of Welcome? Who knows where it even is now? That happened in canon. We don't need to be here anymore. We want to go to the Jagged Pass. And they also showed Io, who was the Shamir-like, around this part. I forget what class they were. Halberdier, I think. Is it Halberdier? Is that what Oboro is? Is it Halberdier? Infantry Spear class. Which I always love. I love an on-foot spear character. Like a Dimitri. Halberdier in the Ike games. Okay. Well, that is what I'm thinking of. I didn't know they had that in that, but that's cool.